Man, you know what? I say it all the time. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And I don't want to hear from anybody. I don't want to hear from anybody, man. How the main roster is all about entertainment. And NXT is for the smart marks. It is absolutely fucking downright sinful at this point to tell me that NXT isn't the best thing that WWE is producing on a weekly basis. Their roster is so far superior than Raw and SmackDown combined, and this show absolutely kills it every single fucking week, man. This show revitalizes my love for professional wrestling, where Monday and I would say sometimes on Tuesday they do it right, but Monday, I'm talking about primarily, they kill my fucking love for professional wrestling. NXT is absolutely fucking great, man. Tonight was a picture-perfect way to book a pay-per-view. Picture perfect. They advertised a tag team match with a team with Bobby Fish and Adam Cole against the War Raiders. We seen the War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era last week for the tag team titles. Why would they give us primarily the same match tonight? What does WWE do? What does NXT do? They give us a build in which it spanned a backlot brawl almost into the crowd. William Regal coming out to announce War Games. Everybody's fucking excited. It was simplicity. And it was great. And nobody's felt at the end of the night like they're taken for an idiot. You know? It's just great stuff. I can't sit here enough and announce my love for NXT, man. This, and I've said this many, many, many times before. If I was to book a wrestling promotion, it would be done in the same way as NXT. And I don't honestly believe, still to this day, that it's under the WWE umbrella. I am telling you on a fucking night in which I hit 100,000 fucking subscribers, man. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. NXT needs to be the fucking foundation of what Raw and SmackDown do on Monday and Tuesdays. If you don't believe me, then you should not be watching the current WWE product. Monday Night Raw is absolutely fucking insufferable every single week. SmackDown Live got lucky this week because Daniel Bryan said he don't want to travel to Crown Jewel. So they gave us a world title fight, WWE Championship match on SmackDown Live. When was the last time we seen that? NXT is the blueprint for what WWE should do. Fuck your this is entertainment on the main roster. Are you not entertained by what they're doing in WWE? The way of the wrestling industry has changed. If you're not catching up to speed, maybe you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. NXT is following the fucking winds of change in the wrestling industry. This needs to be on Raw and SmackDown. Everything needs to be more wrestling orientated on SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. Come on now. Now I know this is a fucking common thing every Wednesday, but I'm sitting here, I'm fucking happy. Finally, I hit that magic number, and my plaque is going to be on the way very, very soon. But NXT just made me fucking say, you know what, dude? Why do we even bother watching Monday and Tuesday nights? Why do we even bother? Look at all the time that they have to build certain shit, certain characters. Look at the fucking characters that you might not even fucking care about on a weekly basis that we actually fucking care about. How could you watch that Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch match and not give a fuck about what they do? I mean, seriously. Seriously. Just take the opening match. Nikki Cross. I want to hear... Where is everybody? Where's all the people that said, oh my God, JD, why isn't Nikki Cross on SmackDown Live? Where's all those people at? When was the last time you seen Sanity on SmackDown Live? I can't fucking remember. I don't know if they have a job or if they don't have a job at this point. But you all wanted Nikki Cross on SmackDown Live for whatever reason. Can you see now how brilliant of a move it is to keep Nikki Cross on NXT? I don't give a fuck what it means as far as pay and adding to the Revolution. The Revolution is in NXT. It's not on the main roster. Get that through your fucking heads. The Revolution died when Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch made their debuts on Monday Night Raw. Dead. Now WWE is just trying to catch up to what NXT is still doing and has always done with the women's evolution. Where are all those people that Nikki Cross is in NXT still? When's she going to be brought to the main roster? Why the fuck would you want Nikki Cross on the main roster after tonight? Or after any fucking week that we've seen Nikki Cross, just thrown into main storylines here on NXT. Why? I don't understand you people. It's fucking ridiculous. NXT fucking killed it tonight. Killed it. And they know that WARGAMES is coming up and they're going to give you absolutely killer product. I loved every fucking minute of NXT, man. I did not look away at all. I wasn't on my fucking phone like I usually am during Monday Night Raw. This was a great fucking show. Show started off with Nikki Cross versus Mercedes Martinez. Can I just tell you that last year Mercedes Martinez, she didn't really sit well with me. And all of a sudden, a year removed from the first ever Mae Young Classic, and I would love to see Mercedes Martinez more on WWE television. If I was WWE, I would offer this woman a contract. I think she's earned it. I think she deserves it, and I want to see more of her. Whatever she did to get me to say that to you, where last year, I didn't really find anything special about her, and she made the semifinals, or the quarterfinals. I think she made the quarterfinals. She lost to Shayna Baszler. No. Maybe she made the semifinals. I think she made the semifinals. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she had a great showing in the Mae Young Classic last year, and then all of a sudden, she has turned over a new leaf as far as I'm concerned. And I want to see more of her. Nikki Cross. Again, I order. Why would you want to see this woman on the main roster? She's in the Aleister Black storyline. She is more important now than she's ever been with Sanity, even when they were in NXT. So why would you take this woman out of her element in NXT and throw her into the main roster where she would probably die 1,000 deaths like Asuka? I don't understand why anybody would want to see that with Nikki Cross. She is on such a hot streak, not only with the Aleister Black storyline, but on her own as well, with the fucking great feud she's had back and forth with Bianca Belair. Now, all of a sudden, Candice LeRae comes out of nowhere, and at the end of this match, when Nikki Cross defeats Mercedes Martinez with her finishing move, that swinging fisherman buster neckbreaker, done. Candice LeRae comes out, and mind you, attention to detail. This was a big detail on Candice LeRae. This is bizarro Candice LeRae. This is dark Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae used to wear all the rainbow colors and the brightly colored outfits. Candice LeRae came out wearing a black tank top, black jeans, black shoes, and black lipstick. If that doesn't signify in itself a Johnny Gargano fucking heel turn, I don't know what else does. I loved it. We're getting a Candice LeRae frustrated with Nikki Cross because she actually had to open her fucking mouth to Aleister Black, and Candice is feeling some type of way about it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And again, I state for the fourth fucking time, you want Nikki Cross on the main roster. I ask you why. She would probably be in a feud with fucking the Iconics, being buried, being teamed with, I don't know, Asuka, or on Monday Night Raw, teamed with Dana Brooke. Yet you want Nikki Cross on the main roster. Count your blessings that it hasn't happened yet. Pray to whatever God you pray to that it doesn't happen at all. I don't want it to happen unless Vince McMahon is out of his current position. This was great. I absolutely love it. Now we have a Nikki Cross, Candice LeRae feud to look forward to. And who knows when that's going to happen. Probably not a takeover, but it's coming, and it fits into the storyline. And I love the fact that Candice now is sticking up for her husband's actions and now targeting the woman who ratted out Johnny Gargano. I love it. It's going to take me a little bit to get used to Bizarro Candice LeRae, but I absolutely fucking love it. Great stuff here. So, when Nikki Cross is in the ring with Candice LeRae, she's laughing. Candice is like, why are you laughing? What are you laughing at? She backs away. She's backing up the ramp, Nikki Cross is. And she's like pointing and laughing at Candice. You know, great stuff. And then all of a sudden, Aleister Black comes walking out through the curtain. Nikki Cross is on stage. Her laugh turns into dead seriousness. Nikki Cross is absolutely fucking brilliant at what she does. She looks at Aleister Black directly in the face, starts to back away, and she knows that Aleister is headed to the ring to talk to Candice. Now, I know I'm not the only fucking one. And I would not really expect WWE to go this route, but I know I'm not the only one here that wanted to see a black mass delivered to Candice LeRae. I know I'm not the only one. But Aleister Black gets into the ring, and he stands his ground. He's planted firmly into the mat, standing up. Candice is in the corner. She comes over to Aleister Black and looks him and stands him right in his face. Looks at him right in the fucking face. And he asks, kindly, respectfully, where's Johnny? And Candice is like, I don't know where he is. He's not here. He's not here tonight. He's not in the building tonight. So Aleister Black, and you could physically fucking hear this guy when he's speaking, where is Johnny? And she uttered the same thing. So then he walks away. He's starting to walk away. And at this point, I thought he was going to deliver a fucking black mass to Candice LeRae. I would have marked the fuck out if this happened. He walks away for a little bit, and then he comes back even more angrier. Where is Johnny? And she doesn't know. She doesn't know. And he walks away. Aleister Black is more over now than he has ever been in his entire WWE run. I am telling you right now, I love Johnny Gargano more than anybody right now watching NXT. The fact that he didn't win the fucking title, and I proclaimed to everybody that he should have won the title in January, and I keep mentioning that. WWE missed the boat there. He never regained the opportunity because of what Tommaso Ciampa started to do, and Ciampa actually jumped Johnny Gargano as being the guy in NXT. So Johnny had no other way to go but turn heel. I am telling you right now, him being announced as the attacker for Aleister Black is absolutely brilliant. You cannot regain your former glory if you don't take a trip on the dark side. It's going to happen. Watch. But right now, it's all about Aleister Black. They fucked up with Aleister Black when they gave him the title. Aleister Black only became a real champion when he was in the ring with Tommaso Ciampa because of how hot he was. And now Aleister Black is becoming that guy again. This is great for everybody involved. Ciampa's the champion. Aleister Black is now the hottest babyface in the entire fucking NXT locker room. And Johnny Gargano could very well be the biggest heel. He could actually overtake Ciampa as the biggest heel if they play their cards right. So don't count out Johnny being the attacker just yet. And the match was announced. And I expect this shit to steal the fucking show. With the crowd being invested, Black being as hot he is, and Johnny now, his first match back as a heel. Dude, I don't give a fuck what's happening in War Games. I don't give a shit what Ciampa's doing. Johnny and Aleister Black at TakeOver. That will be the match of the evening. Mark my words. This was great. Aleister Black coming to the ring and confronting Johnny's wife because Johnny wasn't there. I absolutely loved it. Street Profits versus The Mighty. This was a storyline that we needed some closure to. The Mighty, last time we seen them in the ring with the Street Profits, they took the gold chains of the Street Profits. They came down wearing ski masks as if they were going to rob a fucking bank, and they robbed the Street Profits. So, I believe that was in a match against the Forgotten Sons, who I guess have been forgotten again. We haven't seen them in a little bit. But Street Profits versus The Mighty here. Can I just tell you, and I'm going to say this, and I say this quite often, I don't think people really cling to what I say when I talk about him. Montez Ford is absolutely fucking money, man. Montez Ford, you know, you rarely see such fluidity in a performer when you watch professional wrestling. Montez Ford has that fluidity, man. He's absolutely fucking brilliant in everything that he does, man. He does everything so effortlessly. The guy is absolutely fucking a work of art in that ring. And you guys need to start paying attention more to Montez Ford and what he does, man. The guy is not only, in my eyes, to the WWE fans, underrated. I think the guy actually has breakout star potential to the point where I look at him and then I look at him as being a mini Ricochet. That's the way I see Montez Ford. I don't know about you guys, but I think Montez Ford is fucking fantastic. And Angelo Dawkins, listen, I don't want to take away anything from Angelo Dawkins, man. They both complement each other to a point where I want to see them win the NXT Tag Team titles. I think they absolutely can thrive as tag team champions. I think the crowd would absolutely fucking mark the fuck out for the Street Profits winning the tag team titles. They are that over. And I honestly think the WWE really hasn't capitalized on them yet. And they're waiting for this War Raiders Undisputed Era stuff to conclude. But please do not sleep on the Street Profits, man. They are money. This was a very good tag team match. At the end, Ford tags in. Miller with the distraction as Ford goes to the top. Assisted superplex. And it looked like it was almost, I don't know, it was kind of weird, man. It was almost a superplex, super powerbomb combination here. So they went for cover. Dawkins broke it up. Dawkins with a sky high on Miller, who goes out of the ring. And then we get Dawkins out of the ring. Ford kicks Thorne to the mat. Quickly heads to the top for a big frog splash. Cover 1, 2, 3. And Montez Ford, after a great frog splash off the top, gets the win for the Street Profits. Post-match, they get back into the crowd to celebrate. And they got their gold chains back. And the crowd loves it, man. Street Profits are money on NXT. Kathy Kelly talks to William Regal, and he announces Tommaso Ciampa will defend the NXT Championship against the Velveteen Dream, which only makes sense because there really hasn't been anybody else built up. Dream beat Gargano. Clean. That's all he needed to be number one contender. Done. So Black shows up. Aleister Black shows up, and he wants Gargano. Where is Johnny? Regal says Gargano is home. He told him to stay home. It would be in his best interests to stay home. Black will get Gargano at NXT TakeOver WarGames. And Black said, I'm going to tell you exactly what I told his wife. Johnny's career will be ended at WarGames. That is all you need for hype for their match. Meanwhile, people are praising Monday Night Raw and not watching NXT. Yet I don't know why. We have a backstage camera crew filming Lars Sullivan. He's breaking shit, walking by the production trucks. Some fucking goon asked Lars Sullivan why he's so angry. Sullivan says that Dream took his spot for the NXT Championship, and Sullivan will just have to rip him apart so that he can take his spot. That NXT title match is his. So next week, Lars Sullivan versus the Velveteen Dream for NXT TV. Should be pretty decent. Matt Riddle makes his NXT debut versus Luke Menzies. Man, I love the fact that we heard 3 or 4 different chants of bro tonight. I'm not talking about a Vince Russo. Bro, let me tell you about the Attitude Era, bro. Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro, and The Rock, bro. They were my creations, bro. Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bro, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle. And I was excited about this, man. Dave Meltzer actually commented on Matt Riddle just a couple of weeks ago, saying that if WWE really looks hard and they really pay attention to what they actually have on their roster as far as talent goes, that the replacement for Roman Reigns is not that difficult to find. And Dave Meltzer mentioned Matt Riddle being that guy. He has every aspect of a number one guy that WWE is looking for. And if Matt Riddle can contain his extracurricular activities, then he could certainly be that guy. And you guys know what I mean. Matt Riddle has everything possible for WWE to be a number one guy. And on top of that, Matt Riddle has already stated that he wants Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Now, I was texting my friend Jesse, who I usually go back and forth with on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for WWE. He was on Off the Script while I was in Chicago for StarCast. He didn't know anything about Matt Riddle. I only knew some. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a fucking scholar on Matt Riddle, because I'm not. But I know what he can do. In fact, he was actually supposed to be at a House of Glory show, but couldn't make commitment because he got injured, which I would have loved to have called a Matt Riddle match on my resume. But he stated that he didn't know anything about Matt Riddle. And the one thing that he told me after the 10 minutes that he seen of Matt Riddle in the ring, and I told him about his desires to fight Brock Lesnar, he, not knowing anything about Matt Riddle, he said, and I quote, he would gladly pay money to see Matt Riddle take down Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And he said that out of everybody that he's seen recently, the most legit man that he's ever seen in a ring compete in WWE that could take on Brock Lesnar legitimately is this guy right here. And if you didn't get that vibe tonight, I don't know what the fuck you're watching, bro. I don't know what you're watching. Matt Riddle is absolutely fucking money for WWE. He is super over already. And how long has he been doing this? 3 years? Tops? Look at how good he is already. Look at the presence that he has in the ring. By his entrance alone, I was like, oh, this guy's money. As soon as he got in the ring and kicked his slippers off, I'm like, what? This guy's money. I can't wait to see what he actually does when the bell rings. The guy was fucking money, man. He went against Luke Menzies. This was Matt Riddle's NXT debut. First match ever on NXT TV. This was a back and forth. Menzies got a kick to the back of the head on Riddle. Lands a bunch of strikes to Riddle's chest. Riddle fights back with palm strikes. Hits up Menzies with a kick. Does a kip up. Tries for a penalty kick. And then does a no standing moonsault in one fluid motion. Guy is athletic as fuck, man. Lands on his feet. Riddle goes for a penalty kick, knee to the face, and then lands some elbows on the side of the head. And then he goes for the bro mission. His finishing move, man. The bro mission, which I don't even know what the fuck you call it, man. He wrapped Luke Menzies up like a pretzel. Like an Andy Ann's pretzel. On a hot summer night in Ocean City, New Jersey, bruh. He twisted him up, and that is it. Matt Riddle wins in very impressive fashion for the chance of bro on NXT. Matt Riddle wins via submission. Shayna Baszler defeated Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship, not tonight, but at Evolution. And we see a interview with, I think it was Mike Rome, or it may have been Kathy Kelly, I don't know, one or the other. But Shayna Baszler said that last time she lost, it was all on her. Kairi Sane didn't beat her. Shayna Baszler beat Shayna Baszler. So, Kairi Sane comes out of nowhere, limping, and someone's holding her back. WWE officials holding her back. She yells out, Shayna! And is not happy at all. So Baszler taunts her a bit about not being the champion, and Sane is just like withering away on the floor. She's like crumbling down to one knee after what Shayna Baszler did to her at Evolution. So I'm assuming that we're getting a NXT Women's Championship rematch at WARGAMES. I mean, that's the only logical thing that we could be doing. But there is a rumor that Shayna Baszler is injured right now, and I actually have news on that, and I want to cover that now instead of waiting for off the script on the weekend. I want to talk about Shayna Baszler's injury, man. If I could log into my fucking email here. Holy shit. Let me get into my email. Shayna Baszler was absolutely fucking amazing at Evolution, man. I thought she and Kairi Sane had a great fucking match. And I can't wait to see what they do in round 3 at TakeOver WarGames. But Shayna Baszler is injured, but it's not as serious as everybody's expecting it to be. Shayna Baszler fought a hard-fought match against Kairi Sane at Evolution. But Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Baszler is okay and actually didn't need crutches at all. She was actually photographed with crutches leaving the arena and at the airport. She didn't actually need the crutches. She won't miss the upcoming NXT TakeOver WarGames event at all. And thankfully, she won't miss much time from the ring in the process because of the way NXT runs things. It's a good thing that NXT has already taped their television shows throughout the end of the NXT TakeOver WarGames build. Therefore, Baszler could get by with recovering from little rest to go against Kairi Sane at WarGames. So, Shayna Baszler is not that seriously injured, and she will be at NXT TakeOver WarGames to probably drop the title back to Kairi Sane, as Kairi Sane goes on to have her real title reign as NXT Women's Champion. So there you have it right there. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch defeated Raul Mendoza and Humberto Carrillo. This was actually a very good match, man. I really didn't expect much from Raul Mendoza and Humberto, but this was actually a very competitive match. And I love seeing Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. They're wearing different colored tights, I guess, to kind of tell them apart. But you can still see, even though they're wearing different colored tights, that they are a tag team. Now, I'm very much of the old school. I want them to look the part and have matching attire, but they do the deed. And being that they're both bald, one has a goatee, the other doesn't, it's not that difficult to tell each other apart. But this was actually a very good tag team match, man. Both Mendoza and Carrillo hit suicide dives on Lorcan and Burch on opposite sides of the ring. So Carrillo drops Lorcan to the mat, heads up to the top rope, looks for a massive moonsault. Lorcan gets to his feet and boots him in the face. Lorcan with a huge strike in the corner. I think it was a European uppercut. Burch tagged in. Carrillo able to escape. Tags Mendoza. Mendoza slips the ropes to avoid Lorcan and Burch. Double drop kick on both guys. Big kick in the corner. Burch with a hip toss into the turnbuckle. Lorcan tagged in and hits a lariat on Carrillo. That was pretty much it. And then their finishing move, Hangman's DDT. That was it. Done. Lorcan and Burch win via pinfall, and they're gaining momentum slowly but surely in the tag team division for NXT. We were supposed to have a tag team main event of the War Raiders versus Adam Cole and a returning Bobby Fish. This clearly did not happen. We were watching an Undisputed Era promo, which I always appreciate. I love them. Backstage, Undisputed Era say that they are on top of the world and welcome back Bobby Fish. They ask Fish and Cole if they are ready for the War Raiders. Fish says he was born ready. Cole goes on to talk some trash about Rowan Hansen, but through the curtain that's behind Adam Cole, we all of a sudden see Adam Cole stop mid-sentence, and the War Raiders are attacking the Undisputed Era during their promo time. So Cole gets thrown into a table. They're fighting all the way outside. Cole gets picked up and launched into a fucking production truck. Lawn darted into a production truck. And that was very, I would guess, remember if you guys were watching WCW Nitro back in the day where Kevin Nash launched Rey Mysterio as part of the NWO into the fucking production truck on Monday Nitro? That's what it reminded me of. So, Fish gets launched over the fucking tables on the outside. We're literally outside Full Sail University with fucking with lawn tables on the outside. He gets launched over a lawn table. Kyle O'Reilly gets body slammed onto one. Undisputed Era has weapons. There's trash cans and steel chairs. And everybody's just going to war here. Ricochet suddenly shows up and leaps off a table on the outside of Full Sail University. Drops all of Undisputed Era. Ricochet then focuses his attention on Adam Cole, clearly because that's the program for the United States, the North America Championship. And Ricochet ends up getting thrown into a metal fence as they're all just kind of coming on into the arena. So Fish tries to get away. He's trying to get into the arena. The door's locked. And all of a sudden, Hanson ends up sending him into a fucking metal door. The brawl spills back into the arena, into the ring. Hanson gets nailed with a chair to the leg. Cole super kick to Ricochet as the numbers game. It's literally 4-on-3 right now. So clearly, Undisputed Era's got 4. You got Hanson, Rowe, and Ricochet at 3. So clearly you know where the advantage is going to go. All of a sudden, Pete Dunne shows up. His music hits. The crowd goes crazy. He's with a steel chair in hand. Dunne gets a shot to the midsection and on Adam Cole's hand. Joint manipulation with the steel chair. He smacks O'Reilly with the chair as Ricochet and War Raiders clean up the rest of Undisputed Era as the brawl is just breaking down at this point. William Regal comes out and tells them, you want war? You got it. This is not how it's supposed to be. At NXT TakeOver, you all will be in War Games. It's Undisputed Era versus the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne at War Games Survivor Series weekend. And the War Raiders lead a chant of war, war, war as NXT goes off the air, man. Fucking simple. It's brilliant. And I absolutely fucking love it, man. I cannot wait for War Games. Look at what is announced. War Games with all 8 of those guys involved. Dream versus Ciampa. Gargano versus Aleister Black. Sane versus Baszler, probably. We're probably looking at Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. Who is going to tell me and look me directly in the face that NXT TakeOver War Games is not going to be the best pay-per-view of the year? Seriously. Look at the bill that we got for this fucking show. And you're going to tell me that NXT is not doing things right? Come on, man. I fucking love this show every Wednesday, man. Love it. They're doing everything fucking right. Quickly, let's get through this, man, because I watched this before NXT went on the air tonight. NXT UK. You know, the one criticism about NXT UK, and I know it's not their fault, man. They're a baby promotion right now, getting their feet wet. They're an NXT promotion that's just kind of getting started. There's not really much storyline outside of what we've seen from the UK Championship Tournament. So right now we're just seeing matches for the sake of seeing matches with little storylines involved here. And I appreciate that WWE is actually looking back on what happened at the UK tournament and trying to, I guess add that into the NXT UK program, which is always great because they have nothing else. They have nothing else going for them right now outside of what happened in the UK Championship Tournament. Trent Seven beat Saxon Huxley. This one went about 5 minutes. Trent Seven won with a burning hammer. Wasn't as brutal as we seen in the Cruiserweight Classic with fucking Kota Ibushi getting the fucking burning hammer. Oh my goodness, remember that? I don't think I want to remember that. But Trent Seven won with a burning hammer here on Saxon Huxley. Before I even go on, there was 2 episodes of NXT UK tonight. I didn't even know that. I only watched 1 episode. So I'm only going to review 1 episode because I didn't really I didn't really watch the second episode here. So you're only going to get one quick results here on episode 1. Mark Coffey went against Flash Morgan Webster. This was pretty much the entirety of this match was Mark Coffey and his brother Joe Coffey on the outside causing a distraction. So there was almost 3 distractions on the outside. And Flash Morgan Webster tried to evade this distraction. With Joe Coffey like, bro, hit me. Hit me here. He wanted to get Flash Morgan Webster disqualified. But it actually ended up being, it worked in Flash Morgan Webster's favor here. So Hurricanrana off the top. We got Mark reeling from Flash Morgan Webster. Joe offers a distraction, allowing Mark to grab another suplex. Mark tries to grab a suplex again, and this one gets reversed into a crucifix to give Flash Morgan Webster the win at 6:16. Flash Morgan Webster beats Joe Coffey. Post-match, the beatdown is on, but Flash Morgan Webster was saved by Travis Banks and Mark Andrews for the save there, man. So we're looking at a possible tag team match leading into whatever they got next going on for the Coffey brothers, Flash Morgan Webster. We got Travis Banks and Mark Andrews now involved, and that all plays into what happened at the UK tournament, because the Coffey brothers attacked Mark Andrews, they attacked Travis Banks, and Flash Morgan Webster. So they all have an issue with the Coffey brothers, who look great, by the way, and I could see them being a huge part of the NXT UK tag team division. Danny Burch. We just seen him on NXT. He's on NXT UK. He went against Sam Gradwell. Danny Burch wins here in 4 minutes with a brutal Hangman's DDT. German suplex gets Burch out of trouble. He was in trouble for most of this match as Sam Gradwell just continued to just beat on him with stiff shots. Man, these guys beat the shit out of each other. Burch is in control with that German suplex. He walks into a Michinoku driver. They start slugging it out. Burch gets the better of it. Eventually wins it with a Hangman's DDT for the win at 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Danny Burch beats Sam Gradwell. Post-match was probably the best thing of the entire match. Post-match, Danny Burch talks about being a proud Englishman who spent 15 years traveling the world, carrying the banner of British wrestling. Now he's home and part of the best wrestling in the world. He knows he's earned the respect of everyone in that locker room, but it's time to get someone's attention. And he calls out Pete Dunne because Burch wants a UK title match. Burch has been British strong style since Dunne was a baby in diapers. So come try him, says Burch. He'll be sitting in the corner, and if you want a fucking match, I'll be waiting. So come try me. Danny Burch is throwing down the gauntlet for Pete Dunne, man. In a great main event, Zach Gibson versus Noam Dar. This played off whatever happened last week, where Zach Gibson pretty much stated, listen, I went through an entire tournament and then got a match with Pete Dunne on night 2 of the UK tournament. I was already banged up. Noam Dar had all these months to sit and contemplate what he was going to do with Pete Dunne, train for Pete Dunne, be well rested for Pete Dunne. I felt I was cheated. So Zach Gibson threw out the match to Noam Dar. Listen, I want to challenge you for the right to be called number 1 in NXT UK. And that's exactly what they did. This match went 20 minutes, man. Great fucking main event. Travis Banks, completely hated by the crowd. Half of the fucking chants in this crowd I couldn't even understand, but I knew they were against Zach Gibson. And I gotta say, man, I didn't really find any interest in Zach Gibson during the UK tournament, but as I watch him and as I hear him speak, I'm looking forward to seeing Zach Gibson and Pete Dunne even more, man. That's going to be a huge atmosphere for UK wrestling when Zach Gibson is in the ring with Pete Dunne for the UK Championship of NXT UK. I think it's going to be great, man. This was a great match. You really got to go back and watch this match, man. 21 minutes these guys went. It was a brawl. It was a scientific match, to say the least. Noam Dar's leg, Noam Dar's shoulder, Zach Gibson's leg. This was absolutely dissection of every body part possible for these guys, trying to do their finishing moves. Noam Dar with the heel hook, and we got Zach Gibson with the armbar finishing move that he does, Shankly Gates. But at the end of this thing, man, Gibson had a backstabber. Blocked. And Noam Dar counted that into an ankle lock. He grapevined that into a heel hook, and it was still not enough as Gibson, who is much larger than Noam Dar, punches his way out, including grabbing Dar's ear. He grabbed Noam Dar's ear. I'm not sure if you guys caught that. Dar misses a middle rope stomp to the knee and hurts his own knee in the process. So he goes, Gibson does, for his lifting, spinning brainbuster, which he calls Helter Skelter, and he gets the finish on Noam Dar, man. At 21 minutes and 10 seconds, we got Zach Gibson beating Noam Dar in the main event. Great main event of NXT UK. I can't wait to see what Pete Dunne and Zach Gibson do again, man. A fresh Zach Gibson versus Pete Dunne for the NXT UK Championship. If you're talking about a takeover event possibly taking place in the UK, man, there's no other main event that I want to see but that. With the crowd reaction that Zach Gibson gets and the crowd reactions that Pete Dunne is getting right now, he's more over than ever before. That's going to make for a memorable main event, man, for NXT UK. And I can't wait to see what they do with that, because you know that's where they're leading. Can't wait to see that, what happens with that, man. But we had episode 2. I didn't even know there was an episode 2, man. I'm not even going to cover episode 2. They did 2 episodes today, I guess at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. I'll cover episode 2 on next week's show. So I'll watch that at some point this week, and I'll get into it, and we'll talk about that next week. But I didn't even know, man, and I apologize for you guys who knew already that they did 2 episodes. I didn't know that they did 2 episodes, and the only reason why I think they did 2 episodes is to kind of speed things up, because Rhea Ripley was supposed to be at Evolution, and she was supposed to be in a title match, and they didn't feature that title match because what we seen on television wasn't up to speed with what we seen leading into Evolution. So I'm thinking that they're trying to catch up. That's why they did 2 episodes today. So they got the 2 episodes on the WWE Network, and you can go back and view them at your pleasure whenever you have time. But NXT tonight, man, another fucking home run night on Wednesdays for the WWE Network, man. NXT is absolutely driving it home that they are the best thing in the entire company. If you're not watching NXT, man, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life on Wednesday nights. It's only an hour. Sit down from 8 to 9 and watch how WWE Raw and SmackDown should be booked. I am telling you. You guys see my excitement when something is good. You see my frustration when something is bad. Why would you not watch NXT? You guys know that I am faithful to what is good, and I'm fucking absolutely faithful to what is bad. I would not let you guys know any other way. Go out and watch it. Especially if we're going to WARGAMES. This could be one of the best pay-per-views, if not the best show of the entire year. You know how Triple H is with these takeover shows, man. They are better than every other installment. He's going to do the same thing. And you know he's going to do the same thing leading up to WrestleMania. So that's what he's got in mind. Don't miss NXT, man. You're going to be losing out on the best weekly television show that they put on. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more WWE content. We got Crown Jewel coming up on Friday. That's the next big wrestling promotion we got here on the channel. Crown Jewel, I will be covering it, even though some in the community are not. I am doing it because I have to do it for you guys. I don't really agree with them going on with the show. You guys know that for a fact. But I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, man. Shawn Michaels is coming back to wrestle in a WWE ring. Why the fuck wouldn't I watch that? So that's that. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. And I will be covering Crown Jewel on Friday, live tweeting with you guys at 12 Eastern right here on the channel, man. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. And please go and get your 100,000 subscriber commemorative t-shirt, man. Barbershopwindow.com/off-the-script. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off your entire order, man. Thank you so very much. Thank you for being a part of 100,000 subscribers. We have much more work to do, man. I am hungrier than ever. I'm not stopping. This is only a pit stop on the way to becoming the best fucking wrestling personality right here on YouTube.com. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys later, and I'll see you guys for Crown Jewel.